This infuriated me. I saw this late last night and I didn't get a chance to do anything about it yesterday. But I don't know if you guys remember this. Let's see if this video will load. This is insane. So you have a conservative activist. She gets up and she gets sucker punched by this crazy...
Not the one who admitted they would be okay with babies in foster care and children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying...
That's really...
Okay. Clear freaking assault, right? No question. This needs to go to jail. Well, good old left-wing Alvin Bragg. She's going to get off the hook here. New York City woman who sucker punched pro-life activist will not be prosecuted as the Manhattan DA Bragg's office admits they botched the case. Wow, how did that happen? The Manhattan District's Attorney Office quietly dismissed their case against a woman who violently punched, they said clocked, but punched a pro-life activist in the face. And a conservative law firm now plans to file a civil suit against the assailant. So they're just going to sue her. And good luck if that girl has any money or not. She's not going to go to jail for on video 4K live stream punching out someone, sucker punching, not going to go to jail. Because oopsie doopsie, Alvin Bragg and his department sucks. The DA's office on Friday confirmed at the Post that in July it dropped the second-degree assault charge against 30-year-old Brianna Rivers, blaming an unacceptable error of missing a deadline to hand over evidence in the case to the defense team. The hell is this? The bungled case is now being reviewed by the Chicago-based firm Thomas More Society, which plans to sue Rivers on behalf of activist Savannah Craven Antio, the woman that got sucker punched during the on-camera street interview. This is some BS. The Bragg office needs to... Something needs to happen to these people. How do you let this slide? But of course, that's what these people have been doing for a long time. I guarantee you they wouldn't have neglected to send the paperwork over if it had been a Democrat getting punched by a Republican. Of that, I have no doubt. Now, Christopher Ferreira, a senior counsel with the Thomas More Society who is representing the pro-life activist, said people need to learn accountability. Wow, shock, right? For what is happening in this country over the last year, which is this wave of violence by left-wing activists who think that the appropriate response to an opinion they don't like is either punching, kicking, assaulting, or shooting someone. This lawsuit is about telling people that there is accountability if you viciously assault someone because you don't like what is said. You're going to suffer the consequences, if not criminally, then civilly. And civil is not enough. There is no reason why the outrage here is, this is maddening. Because this is just par for the course. Now, Ferreira said that the DA's office failed to update Craven and Teo about the case when the charges were dropped, and has since... So they didn't even tell her that they were dropping the charge, and has since ignored multiple calls and emails from their law firm. This is unacceptable. I don't know if legally if you can sue the DA. I'm going to have to look this up because this, not safe for YouTube words want to pop out of my mouth right now. Now, Craven and Teo said she didn't know the case had been dismissed until she saw her assailant flaunting the news on Instagram. I'm feeling disgusted because this is just the careless actions of Alvin Bragg's DA's office. They're infamous for this sort of behavior. A spokesperson for Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg said the office is taking immediate internal steps in light of this botched case. BS. A spokesman for this retarded DA's office by Alvin Bragg says, every victim deserves their day in court, and our office has reached out to apologize to Ms. Craven and Teo for the unacceptable error of missing the discovery deadline, but too bad for her, nothing's going to happen to this violent woman. The missed discovery deadline occurred after the case was transferred to a different prosecutor. Sure it did. The unprovoked attack left Craven and Teo with a black eye, 2 stitches under her eyebrow, severe pain in her nose, lasting emotional trauma, totaling more than $3,000 in medical bills. She said, I was using my First Amendment right to free speech. Well, unfortunately, the left does not believe in free speech. They would be very happy if they could just frog march all of you into a gulag and bring on the gas chambers. And on top of that, she said, I wasn't even saying anything that was egregious. I want her to understand that this is not something that she can continue to do the next time she runs into somebody she disagrees with. Well, I hate to break it to you, Craven, but the woman learned exactly that she can get away with it. Now, during the filmed interview, tensions flared when the conservative influencer pressed Rivers about her views on the controversial topics. The interview gradually grew sour as Craven and Tail routinely interrupted Rivers, claimed women who have undergone abortions were killing babies, and even laughed at her interview subject. Things took a turn when Craven and Tail asked whether foster kids should be killed because they're not wanted, and Rivers responded to why not. Because Rivers is kind of an a-hole. Obviously, we saw her punch someone. Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them personal slaves. I need specifics before you come to talk to me about pro-life. The pair went back and forth for another minute before the video clipped. Craven and Tail then is heard repeating the foster care question she had posed to Rivers. I am not the one who admitted that they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused. That's not the point. What I'm saying is, Rivers said before unleashing a flurry of punches to Craven and Tail's face and then storming off while flipping both middle fingers and telling the pro-lifer's husband to suck my dick. Rivers of the Bronx later apologized on social media before she celebrated, apparently, for socking her interviewer in the face, but claimed her antagonistic victim goaded her into violence. There is no excuse for that. This is what's wrong with the left. Well, he made me do it by using his words. His words violently assaulted me, and I only had to strike back. People like this are animals who do not belong in polite society. This woman, Rivers, lock her up. Throw away the key. She shouldn't be out in polite society. If you can't contain yourself, at any point, this stupid bitch could have walked away and said, okay, I don't like you. Screw you. But no, she's instead going to go punch out someone and then try to justify it. Well, she made me mad. This is how you know this person does not belong in society. Now, the violent brute, they actually called her that in the article, that's great, has since posted a string of videos online gloating about the brawling assault, telling critics to back off now that the case has been dismissed. Ferreira said the outcome might have been different if Rivers had offered a sincere apology. It might be a different story if she had some repentance or truly apologized, Ferreira said, noting that the lawsuit will be filed in the coming weeks. This is a case of someone who thinks in this climate, this assassination culture, that she's totally justified. It is a very dramatic illustration of the mentality that we're dealing with. And of course, Rivers did not immediately respond to the post request for comment. I got to look this up. I wonder if there's anything that can be done, or if, is that just it? There's no hope in prosecuting this crazy lady? That seems so insane to me. Let's see here. Let me look this up. I can't believe that there's no options here. How can justice be lost because the prosecutors can't frickin' send over information? That seems insane to me. So it looks like at most she can try complaining to the federal government, the DOJ, on a civil rights case. But I don't know. I don't see how that works. I'll have to do some more research on this, but I think she's pretty much screwed. That's maddening to me, because just because you have an incompetent prosecutor or a DA's office should not mean that criminals get to walk free. I don't know. That just infuriates me.